Aloha and happy Friday. I know you were expecting my co host to be on today. And so you get the two beautiful women that are in front of you. And we say, Erin, we're so sorry that you have to be at work. I thought this was the most important part of your world, but I understand. So today I have an amazing guest with me. I've known her for almost 9 years. And so Anna Wu, she's one of those people that most people say she needs no introduction. Everybody knows her around the Kiwanis world. But I've got to tell you, I was looking at her bio. Nobody knows Anna Wu as much as amazing and a human being as she really is. So hi, Anna.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, I've been trying for several weeks. You're a busy woman, absolutely busy woman.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of travel.
for those of you out there, Anna is actually the Kiwanis International Two for Two director and coordinator. I'm not sure what the right title is, Anna. So if I botch it, you know,
Oh, no worries.
set me
I'm the
straight.
volunteer chair.
The
So,
volunteer chair. Okay. A volunteer chair means it's another job that you do because you love it. And we've got messages coming in from Southern Las Vegas going, hi, good morning. Hi, everybody. We're glad to be here. And so part of what we're going to talk about today is, because I've got you here, is I want people to know a little bit more about who you are. And then we're going to talk about the whole two for two and how to make it work. Hopefully, get a couple practice rounds in about how to do that dial with a smile, and we'll end the day with some just fun chatter, maybe even Anna trivia.
oh,
So for those of you who are used to coming in on the show, we don't have call in today because Erin usually controls that part of the universe. So if you have any questions, just dial in or text us, and we'll make it work. So, Anna, when I asked you to be on the show, did you think it was going to be this easy?
no, Valerie, with you, it's always easy. We always have a good time, no matter what we're doing. Whether it's opening a club in like below freezing, which we've done that,
Which we've
um,
done.
or pulling all nighters trying to build databases. It's always been fun. So whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Anna, I know that you are this phenom with Kiwanis, but tell me a little bit about what you do in the other part of your life.
Sure, sure, sure. So, people always say, "What do you do for a living?" And I'm always so used to it that I say it so fast without realizing that people might not understand what I mean. But I
Mhm.
usually always say I do intellectual property and global consulting, and people always like, "What property?" It's not physical property. It's intellectual property is patents, trademarks, and copyrights, and that's a huge portion of what our company does. But I mainly oversee the global consulting side. So
Mhm.
I like to say I make problems go away.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
try to find innovative solutions to problems for companies.
You know, it gives you such a huge transferable skill that you've been using. I know. The very first time I realized that it wasn't real estate on steroids was I saw a picture of you and you were surrounded by patents.
Oh, yes. Yes,
And
yes.
so that is such a difficult world. So if someone said, I want to do what Anna Wu does, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, definitely. I actually didn't find what I'm doing right now, like it wasn't a very direct path. For me, it was being open to the idea of every opportunity that's out there. And again, I owe a lot of my success, if you will, to Kiwanis. I started at the Kiwanis family through Builders Club. And before that, I was
Mhm.
extremely, extremely shy. And one extremely transferable skill that we learned from Kiwanis is our ability to communicate with people and with different types of people. I remember some of my best friends when I was in high school were people in their 50s and 60s. And I loved going to my Wednesday morning Kiwanis meetings where everybody was just so friendly and everybody was from such different fields. I think it wasn't until my second year, uh, going to their meetings that I found out what they actually did for a living, right? Most of the time, Kiwanians are just Kiwanians. They're just people who need
Mhm.
help. I remember my parents worked full time jobs, and they would travel overseas and stuff. And one time, I'm a bad driver. I'm gonna admit that first. One time, I popped both of my tires by going over a dip. Who knew those dips are so dangerous, right? And I knew that they were both out of overseas and stuff. And my grandparents were taking care of me. And what were they going to do? So, of course, I called the Kiwanian, who told me there was this thing called AAA. And apparently I had a membership. I'm like, oh, that's what this card in my wallet is for. And they were just always there for me. So, I guess the best advice I have is try everything, be open minded. I think my first job was with the Kiwanian. It was at Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, and he was a Kiwanian that took me under his wing and showed me what that was all about. And I learned about interest rates, even though you learn about it in school, until it really applies to your daily life. It's just a number. Interest rates are going up, going
Mhm.
down. Okay, that doesn't affect me, but once it really affects your bottom line, right? It's when you start to care. So, Kiwanians really gave me a lot of opportunity and a lot of different doors, and I had a lot of options. And I tried this and I tried that, and I have extensive background in public relations, and I love public relations. I love talking to people and promoting different types of, whether it's a press release, or I worked in movies and entertainment, whether it's promoting movies and television, which is my fave. I love movies and television. It's my next big hobby besides Kiwanis, right? So it's just trying everything out until you find out what fits, where you belong in the world.
That's so awesome. I've learned so much from you over the past, I keep wanting to say a decade. And part of that is that comfort zone you fit in with folks. And we've got a lot of people that are dialing in. It's like Diane Anthony out in Sonoma County and John Brummer, Leanne. Good morning, everybody. Christine and George. Thank you guys for listening to us, because having this time with Anna, and it's like I'm looking around. I don't see the superstar of the household. I don't see her peeking in. So Miss Curable, huh?
Oh, Kira. Yes. I was like, who are we talking about? Yeah, Kira is in school. Kira is in third grade. I just told someone yesterday that she was 9, and people were like, "What? Where did the time go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." We're actually building a K Kids at her school, and so she's just learning the ropes of all that stuff, and she's trying to not be like, "Oh, I know everything." She's trying to talk to her friends about it, and build that interest in her school. So it's exciting. She's learning recruitment already, right? She's recruiting for K Kids.
I love it. I love it. And she's learning from the best. So, how did you get involved with this whole two for two program?
Yeah, actually, yesterday I spoke to the Kiwanis Club of Riverside, and I told them the story as well. Uh, Bert West, our international president, he called me the year before he was international president, and he told me all about two for two. And I'm going to be honest, when he first asked me to do this position, I said no. And the reason I said no was because I'm a huge believer of the open house. The special guest day. We used to put that on in our Kiwanis Club, and every single special guest day or open house or whatever you call it would amaze me. And we were bringing so many members, and I said, no, I'm the open house girl. I'm the girl who's always telling everybody that they need to have one big day to show everybody how amazing their club is and put up their best foot forward, right?
Mhm.
And then Bert was like, well, think about it. And let me send you some information. And he did. And once I looked at the program, one of the biggest advantages that I saw with the program was flexibility. And we
Mhm.
need flexibility now more than ever. With COVID, we showed everybody that we are flexible. We switched to Zoom, we switched to, uh, Facebook, and we did all of these live streaming and all of these options. And that's
Mhm.
what two for two is. It offers the flexibility. A lot of time we will approach a potential member and we'll be like, we want you to come to this one special day on Wednesday night or Thursday night or Saturday morning. And if that particular day doesn't work for them, then they're going to have to wait till the next time we throw a big event, or they're going to have to wait till the next time we put our best foot forward, right? And two for two is just really allows the flexibility. It allows people to talk about Kiwanis, whatever that fits into their schedule, and rather than our schedule, right? So once I saw that, I saw the potential in that, and I was really, really excited. And I said, "Okay, Bert, for you, anything." Val
Absolutely.
Val and I have met Bert way before he was Mr. Important, right? Well, way before he was international
Mhm.
president. We were with
You know
him.
where he keeps the money in his truck.
Yeah, yeah, or in his boot, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
We
we
actually
went on.
met him on a club opening. And
Yeah, I was
you see in the comments, George Lang asked, how many clubs have the two of us opened? So together, we've probably done about 10, don't you think?
yeah, that sounds about right. A
And
few
then
outside
you
of our
have a bunch, yeah, and then you have a bunch under your belt. How many have you opened?
oh, I was just trying to count the other day. I usually have a like an Excel sheet running because I'm an Excel girl. Everything has to be an Excel sheet for account. I think around 40 to 50.
Yeah, I think when I checked the numbers, yeah. And so I've been on 72 club builds, but
Wow.
we've opened 48. And so
Oh, okay.
between the two of us, I think we probably have opened more than 100 clubs. So George, when you talk about people that we've been able to touch, so Anna, what do you think was the most fun club build that you've ever been on?
Ooh, okay. So I'm super biased. um, okay, so a recent club build that I've been on that I really, really fell in love with the community was
Mhm.
Winter. It's just east of Sacramento. It is the
Oh,
cutest, cutest town. And actually, funny thing enough, just this morning I'm like trying to ponder whether I'm looking up airline prices because they're having their charter night coming up this month. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love that city so much. It is the cutest. For anybody who's ever seen Gilmore Girls, and I was a huge Gilmore Girl fan. For anybody who's seen Gilmore Girls, it is just like that quaint little town. They even have the white gazebo. They have the famous coffee shop, and it is just so cute. And the food, and someone said that I love food. Everybody knows it's not a secret. I love food, and they have really amazing food. And their local diner actually has a patent on the tri-tip sandwich or something of that sort. And I was
oh,
just like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. And it was just a very unique way that they prepare their meat. So I love that town. I loved it so much that second time we visited, I brought my husband and Richard and Kira with me, and they loved it too. And it's just this quiet, cute little town. So that one I love. I know we have some people on here from Vegas. I love
mhm,
Vegas. I love Vegas. Vegas is amazing because again, Vegas has amazing food, but
mhm.
they have people from everywhere. I've noticed a lot of people retiring in Vegas from all over the place, from East Coast, from Middle America and stuff. And so that was a really really fun one. And Vegas is always close to my heart, so that one is really really fun. And then
And
we done some
yeah,
on the East Coast, which is really unique because places I've never been.
you know, I think of each time I keep thinking it's not going to get any better. This is the best club ever. And unfortunately, every time I do that, I really shock the heck out of Andy because I'll come home and I'll go, "You won't believe what I did. I joined." So I've had
Oh
to
no, I
stop
think Andy
joining.
believes it right
Yeah,
now.
it's like I've had to stop joining because I do, service with each club, and each community is so amazing and unique. And it's for me, there's so much joy in bringing Kiwanis to a new community. And we just had a club open in Redding on the 3rd. In Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, they had their second informational meeting. They're going to open later this month. And there's it's the most diverse club I've ever worked on. Um, and just each community, I think, is amazing. And I think as I look back to the 2 for 2, one of the things I love about this program is it gives each club an opportunity to get to know their community again. And
Definitely.
so, yeah. And so when we come back from the break, um, what we'll do is we'll get really in depth. And people are putting some questions in there. But I really want to talk about how everybody can really just dive into this 2 for 2. Yeah, Christina, you go. You were probably the first club And then in less than 3 years, we're on the international stage. So I want to share. Anna and I were club openers 5 years ago in Las Vegas, and Centennial Hills actually won the Signature Service Project Award for small clubs.
Oh,
That's pretty amazing.
that's
That's
very
absolutely amazing. And so Leanne's popping in there about Sundial. She wants to be the top rated club. I know, I hear you. So as John takes it away to commercial, we'll think about how we're going to talk about 2 for 2.
International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org. Hi everybody, Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron's Hour, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV.
You know, one of the things that we have in common with Aaron's Hour and Kiwanis, I kept trying to figure out what are those links that tie us together. He always talks about there's no politics and no religion. And I think that that makes it really easy to reach out to people because of everything that we see on TV. You know, it's some tie to politics and religion. And we're all about service. And so I think it helps us get into what we're doing. So, Anna, take it away. Tell us about 2 for 2.
Yeah, definitely. So 2 for 2, for those of you who haven't heard it, is like, what is it? Is it a number? When I first heard it, I thought it was 2 for 2, but no, it's two people for two people. The concept is, it's really simple. Every month, your club would come up with 2 prospective people that they would love to invite to their club, would be fabulous members of their club, and 2 members of your club go and visit them. You call them, you set up an appointment with them, and you sit down with them, and you really just chat, like Valerie and I are doing here. And we talk about what they foresee for the community. What are their passions? How do they believe we can make the world a better place for our kids? And a lot of times it's great because it's almost like a little mini community survey. They tell you what they're passionate about, and you tell them, that is fabulous. We want to make that happen. We want to bring that project to our club, and we would love for you to be part of our club so that you can explain to us, you know, what it is that need, how we can help that demographic or how we can help those kids. And it's really just a way to give people the opportunity to be a part of your Kiwanis club. So it's kind of like a more systematic way of making sure that your club is continuously reaching out to those potential members. So what we really say to get the program started, and, you know, we start easy, is just have all the members of your club jot down names of people that they would love to see and shoot for the moon. Put the mayor on there, put the city manager, put the director of the YMCA, put the Boys and Girls Club, put your SLP advisor, and all those occupations that, you know, you've interacted with. Just recently, we hired an electrician, you know, definitely putting that person's name down. Your estate planning lawyer, your CPA. Oh my gosh, tax season. Let's not even go there. But yeah, put your CPA on there. That's a good person to put on there. Your financial advisor, all of those, your bankers, all of those people, and build that list. And then one by one, give them a call and just have that friendly conversation and ask them for their input and ask them how we can collaborate with them, you know, and set that meeting up. And when I say send those 2 people, I always say send people who are different than each other. If you're sending someone who's in their 60s and retired or 70s, that's great. Also send someone who's maybe new to the club and who is a little bit younger in the demographics. If you're sending a female, send a guy. If you're sending someone from an educator background, send someone from a corporate finance. So send someone, two people who are different, so that they could get the conversation rolling and they could diverge into all different aspects of how Kiwanis can be a part of their lives. So and it really is just about having that conversation and remembering to have that conversation. A lot of times when we plan special guest days and open house, it's one day out of the year, and the rest of the time, unfortunately, we're not talking about Kiwanis. So this allows you to take it into small little bites. Talking about Kiwanis a little bit every single month and really spreading that wealth, having everybody talk about Kiwanis. And before you know it, you'll be like, oh, do we already finish the 2 this month? Can we do a little bit more? And that's again what 2 for 2 is great for. It's a very, very flexible. Maybe if you do 3 appointments this month, next month maybe is a busy month. December is usually a busy month. You do just one in the early Decembers, and then in January you hit them up with 3 or 4, and it allows you that flexibility. And the cool thing is what we're seeing across the board is about a 50% success rate. And that's amazing. Who would not love 12 new members at the end of our Kiwanis year? So really just the more people you talk to, the higher your success rate is.
Absolutely. I had a fun time, and there's that brochure that everybody can get. I had such a fun time. I took all the cards out of there. And so randomly at the beginning of the month, I'll just pull a card out of the stack. And so I'll find 2 occupations on there, and I'll ask somebody in my club, will you come with me to go talk with so and so? And in the beginning, they just thought I was nuts. But when we went, and talked with the person that's running the major properties in East Garrison, which is near where my club is, they said, we were wondering when you were going to ask. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, don't think of it as a job of recruiting. Think of it as giving them the opportunity to be part of your family, to be part of your
Mhm.
network, to really, you're helping them rather than
Mhm.
giving them business exposure, all that stuff.
Absolutely. So is there a category that you think every club should have in there? And, you mentioned like the mayor and different stuff, but if they wanted, what did someone calls it, low hanging fruit, if the very first time, so that they can feel like they're successful, is there a category or occupation natural?
Yeah. So my favorite people to recruit are insurance and finance people. Your local State Farm, your local farmers. Those people, they're looking to be involved in the community. And
Mhm.
people always say, well, do they join for the wrong reasons? It doesn't matter what reason they join. People join for whatever reason that they are thinking of, but they stay for the service and for the kids. And they're making an impact no matter what they think, the reason, again, that they join. They're going to make an impact in their community, and they're going to have that really good feeling when they see that smile that they put on that kid's face. And so I love recruiting, bankers, financial people, financial advisors, and insurance people.
Well, see, and I love recruiting retired teachers. And oftentimes, because most retired teachers still want to do stuff with kids, they just don't manage a classroom,
Oh,
and they have to feel disconnected from. And so I know in a number of schools, the superintendents have a list of retired teachers. So maybe it's doing, in June, doing a party from your club for all the retired teachers, and then going, when you do your 2 for 2, picking the 2 most animated um, teachers and asking them if they might join your club. You may get lucky and strike gold, and both of them join, and then they start bringing
yeah.
in their friends. So absolutely.
I love retired anything. Retired people are awesome. Oh,
Mhm.
they're amazing. Yeah, retired anything. Get them in the club if they're lucky
Absolutely.
enough to be retired. And
Absolutely. And
that brochure that Valerie was talking about, all of you can have access to right away. It's actually kiwanis.org / the words typed out 242. And you can access that. And there's a PDF on there that you can share with your club.
okay. So walk us through a little bit about that brochure, because I think it's one of the best brochures that KI's put out. It it
Definitely.
it just hits all the notes.
Yeah. So it's really cool because it's not just a brochure about how you can recruit people. It's also a brochure about the mindset to be in. So I think one of the really cool things is that they have a page that talks about what and who does your club need. And all of our club, we need a little extra, maybe finance help. We need a little extra connection with the city, or we need a little bit extra tech help sometimes. And the cool thing is they break down these people, and once you start reading the description of these people, you start forming a picture in your head of who that person is. And so, like for example, they have something called the expert. And the expert is a person that provides a good basic knowledge on a project subject base. So maybe your club's special projects is literacy, or maybe your club's project is having a rodeo or bike fair or something like that. And so you have in your head an idea of who that expert person is. Well, let's recruit that extra person, especially if your club is already, their signature project is this topic. Why not have that extra person in expert person in your club? Like for example, Relay for Life. There's always that liaison that Relay for Life provides. That person should be a member of our club, and our club can support the American Cancer Society. And then they have like techies and communicators. And Valerie mentioned people you should recruit. We have currently he's the mayor of our city, who's a member of our club, and he brings us all the city projects that we're not aware of, and we get to plan for it ahead of time. So that connector, if you will, that person who makes the connection and really brings your club into all those exciting projects. We have the social butterfly, the person who's, yeah, maybe they're a part of Rotary, but they're also a part of this nonprofit, that nonprofit. I just was talking to someone who couldn't make one of our meetings because he sits on 12 nonprofit boards. And so that person is also the connector, also the social butterfly. And so it really gets you thinking about who you missed in your community. And then it gives you, straightforward tips about making the appointment work and how to make that appointment. A lot of times we want to recruit these people, but we don't know where to start the conversation. And so that worksheet really gets you thinking and gets you talking. So it talks about the nitty-gritty as well. And then the cards that Valerie talked about. Near the end, it has use your prospect reports. So you have a place where you identify prospects now, and you just write down their name and share it with the club. And then after that, there's these little cards that come up. And so it has right at the top month. So for example, the month of March, we're going to hit up these two prospects. And so you call them and you write it down, and you kind of go to the meeting and you'd be like, okay, who wants this? Who wants this prospect? And you kind of describe the person, and it's almost like a bidding process, right? In reversed, right? It would be like, okay, I think so and so would be a great person to go and visit this person. Like Valerie talked about, she talked about retired teachers. Well, if you have a retired educator in your club, like George Lane, if you will, then send them. George and I went on an appointment before to see a superintendent, and the superintendent started right off the bat with how busy he is. And as soon as George said, well, I'm a retired administrator, that really made his eyes open wide, right? Because he was like,
Mhm.
oh, you speak my language, you know
Mhm.
what I'm dealing with, about the budgets and all of that stuff. And so he right away opened up to another level that I probably wouldn't have got him to go, just me, from a business perspective. So that's kind of like the brochure in a background. And a lot of times we go and we present at clubs and we talked about the brochure, and they'll look at it and they'll put it aside. My
Mhm.
challenge to you is to really work the brochure. Look at that brochure every now and then and be like, let me think about those people once again. Who are those people that I know? And then also keep those people in your mind. So when you're shopping at your local Trader Joe's or whatnot, and you run into someone and they tell you they're a retired accountant, you think right away, oh, you're an expert in the field of accounting. We would love for you to come to our club and, maybe be our finance person and be that person that we could turn to. So really turn to that brochure back and forth. Valerie, what do you think? What is your favorite part of the brochure?
Well, like I shared, one of the pieces is that brainstorming area where you look at different occupations and who's not in your club and start talking about that. And I also love those cards. I can't speak enough about them, and how I've figured out how to use them is like the one that has realtor and an engineer. And I've, just asked everybody, your realtor, who helped you buy your house? Or do you have someone that helped you refinance? And so I put their name down, and also the name of the person that referred them. And so it made it easier to go out and have the conversation, and that practice kind of conversation of going, "Hi, Mike Mast. I know that you have been you're the insurance person for almost everybody in my club. They absolutely love you." And so he says, "Yeah, you're in the Kiwanis Club. We do a lot of stuff with you." And I said, "Yeah, and you're in Rotary, and we need a liaison." And I keep going back, and he says, as soon as he's done with softball season, he'll consider it, because he now understands that you can be in another club in the community and also be a mover and shaker on us. And it works out really well when you're talking about you need that connector. And for us, Mike is that connector. Um, but I didn't realize until I asked in my club, we all share the same insurance guy. And
Yeah,
there are
it's a small
4 or 5 realtors. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And then think about all the things, occupations that connect to it. Like whenever I think of realtors, I always say, if you have a realtor in your club, ask your realtor, who do you use for title? And who do you use for insurance? And who do you use to finance that mortgage? Ask those people, because those people, kind of depend on that realtor connection. So when they reach out and said, "Hey, I send you X amount of prelim title to run this month. Would you do me a favor of coming to visit my Kiwanis Club, or meet
Mhm.
with someone from our Kiwanis Club?" I'm sure that they would say yes. Because you're already someone that they trust and someone that they work with.
So, one of the things that with the Reading Club that got started, our connector is a major, major realtor in his area. And he said off the bat, "I have 10 people that I know will join this club." And when they all showed up, there were the brokers, there were insurance folks, but they're all tied to him professionally. And this club just knocked my socks off with the energy that was there. And so just asking for those referrals, all of a sudden it's magical. It's absolutely magical. So
Yes, awesome.
so I know that one of the questions that was out there is, how do you even start the conversation? Once you and you're talking about, we're going to go see Dolores in Fairfield, and we're going to talk to Dolores. How do you even start that conversation? Get an appointment or get an interview?
Okay,
What,
yeah,
what does
definitely.
that look like? What does that process look like?
So I have two videos that I put in my PowerPoint about a warm call and a cold call. And the
Mhm.
difference is a warm call is a handoff. So if Dolores was handed off by Valerie, I usually start the conversation with, "Hi, Dolores. Valerie gave me your name because our club is I'm part of the Kiwanis Club. Have you heard of Kiwanis?" And you tell them a tiny bit about Kiwanis. Don't give away the lead. You got
Mhm.
to tease them a little bit. We're a nonprofit community service organization, and we're doing this thing where we're trying to get input from the community. What I find works really well is that when you're asking to hear about what they find important, finding out what they think that the community should be doing better, they're more open to talking to you rather than, "Hi, Dolores, we would love to talk to you about Kiwanis." A lot of time it would be like, "Oh, no, 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 thank you. I already know." We all get those cold calls, right? Like lately, I've been getting a lot of calls about like employee retention programs or healthcare programs. We're always like, "No, no, we're good. We don't need any. We don't need to talk about
Mhm.
that," right? So instead, a lot
My
of times,
car warranty is just fine.
oh my gosh, yes, and warranties. So a lot of times we're like, we would love to, spend 15 minutes with you and get your input on how we can better serve the community, what our Kiwanis clubs can be doing more to help the youth in the community, or what do you see as a critical issue in our youth today, and something that our nonprofit should be looking at or tackling. And then a lot of times you share a little bit too. Like if they have sometimes if they say, I don't really know where to go with that. And then you'll be like, one of the focus of our governor this year is on college service, Circle K on college service. Do you have any, kids who are maybe in that age range? Or like last year, one of our focus for our governor was mental health. What do you think about that? Is that an area that you think that we should help with and stuff like that? And asking them questions to pull them out of their shell for them to tell you, well, what I really think is important is X, Y, and Z. And then you'll be like, okay, great. Do you think we could sit down for 15 minutes and we could talk about it? We can meet at a local Starbucks, or we can meet at your office, or, we can meet at the local school doing pickup, whatever it is, however it's convenient for them. Get them to agree to sit down and have that chat with you.
And I think one of the things that's really important is just take up your whole day. Kind of want to meet with you maybe 10, 15 minutes. And if it goes longer, that's great. That really people's time, I think they appreciate that in that process. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
if you're in a meeting, I'm sorry. If you're in a meeting with someone and you find it running longer than 15 minutes, I usually always says, this is about you. However long or short this thing is, depends on how many questions you have. And then I sometimes always say, I want to be respectful of your time. We're getting close to that time. Would you like to continue this conversation at our Kiwanis meeting, or would you like to continue this conversation at our next service project? So inviting them to your next service project, inviting them to your next meeting, or a lot of times people will be like, no, I'm enjoying this conversation. Let's keep talking. And then that way it's not on you. It's not your fault that the meeting's going longer. It's just because they love talking to you.
I met someone, her name is Mary Lee, and she joined the Alicia Viejo Laguna Niguel Club.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and originally she said she only had a half an hour. We ended up being there an hour and a half. I ended up wanting to adopt her and hug her because the conversation was just that magical in realizing, I just met probably a girlfriend. And so it's been that kind of experience. And that was one of the reasons why I really love this whole 2 for 2. Because it's not only your community that you haven't maybe talked to in a long time, but you're going and hanging out with one of your club members and reconnecting with your club member. So
yeah, definitely. And sometimes you find out things about your club member that you didn't know. Like during this conversation, your club member would be like, oh, I used to attend that school, or I used to do that too. And you're like, you did? Like, you've been a member of our club for a decade, like you said. And I was just like, you never shared that part. Or I remember when I found out that in my home Kiwanis club, he was sponsoring Kiwani when I was in SLP, that he was like a champion swimmer. And I was like, oh, you are? And you don't know these things, and you go on these appointments, and you're basically finding new friends. You're finding new friends that are potential members, but you're also finding out a deeper level, on a personal level, of one of your club members. So it's a really enjoyable experience. People think it's scary to start, but once you get started, you just can't help it, right, Val? That's why we keep going on these club builds.
Absolutely. I remember I think we were in Hawaii, and we were in the car rental place. And all of a sudden, you were like 4 people in front of me, and you turned around and you started talking to the person behind you. And do you remember that interaction?
No, not specifically. What did I say?
Okay, because you have so many of them. But literally, I'm telling story on Anna. She turned around, she started talking to this person, realized that they're a past Q clubber, and she whips out of her purse a pen and an application, and got them all geared up and excited. And so they didn't even realize that they needed to move forward in line because they were so busy talking. And I was just like, yeah. That's the magic of just being able to just flow into a conversation and be able to do that. And so I know for a number of people, just starting that conversation is tough, even when you're with someone that you're really comfortable with. And so do you have any tips, Anna? Is there like a 30-second speech or something that people should be doing?
Could you try again?
Oh, sorry. My Siri popped up. first. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Oh, good. Sorry about that. My computer thought you were talking to it rather than me. Yeah, definitely. I think one of the great ways to bring Kiwanis in is not the word Kiwanis, but the thing you do. So a lot of times we get tied up in how do I bring up Kiwanis, but instead
Mhm.
bring up the project that you just did that you love. So, for example, there's been a lot of elevator conversations where they have a kid, and then that you're talking like, would your kid like a new book? My local nonprofit, my Kiwanis Club, just got a donation of 250 brand new books, and I actually have some with me. Would you like that? And then they're like, you're just giving away books, or like for example, our Kiwanis Club in our area, Kiwanis Club of Roland Heights, for those who are in the Roland Heights area, we're having a big giveaway March 4th from 10 to 1. And so a lot of times I'll reach someone and I'll be like, oh, she's so cute. How old is she? Or and then they'll be like, oh yeah, she's 8. She's in 2nd grade or whatnot. And I'll be like, our local Kiwanis Club is having an event where we're giving out 1,000 books or 500 books, however many books. And it's on March 4th. That's Roland Heights Community Center. Lead with the service or lead with the project. A lot of times, there's one time I was in an elevator and the mother's on the phone with her kid, and obviously the elevator door closes and disconnects, and she's all frustrated. And I was like, oh, is your kid a teenager? And she's like, yeah. I can't get 2 words out of her. And I was just like, I don't know where she is, and all this stuff. And you share in the frustration, right? And you go, I was like that too when I was a teenager. And one of the things that really helped me was being part of a service organization. And I was like, where does she go to high school? And of course, she goes to high school where there's a Key Club and a Kiwanis, right? And I'm like, oh my God, you have not only one, but you have 2 options. And I'm just like, have they thought about joining the local Key Club or the local Kiwanis in their school? And they're like, no, what is that? And then, of course, we're invited to the floor. I was like, sorry, I won't have time to talk about it with more, but why don't you come visit our Kiwanis Club? Bring your daughter, and we'll introduce them to the Key Club at their school. So I always say lead with the service, lead with the project. And then the same thing, a question I got yesterday was how to recruit younger members. And one of the tips I gave them was, go on Meetup and stuff and go on social media, but don't say, hey, we want you to come to our Kiwanis Club. A lot of people will be like, no, wait. Instead, be like, we're doing a park cleanup this weekend. Come join us and clean up with us. Or we're doing a hike this weekend, and we're cleaning up the hiking trails. So lead with the service and then tell them, well, actually, it's the Kiwanis Club that does all the planning and puts this event on. We would love for you to be a part of our Kiwanis Club.
As simple as that. As simple as that, which is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I know John's probably waving at me in the background and I just don't see him. But let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and kind of do an example. It's like a sample cold call, warm call kind of experience. And so, and as we're going out to commercial, I just want to say welcome, Kiwanis Leadership Club of the South Bay, and folks hanging out in Palm Springs. Thank you for being on. This is absolutely fabulous. So, John, are you ready for that queued up commercial?
Kiwanis makes a difference every day somewhere. Some kid gets something from us that they would not have if we didn't exist. It's all about kids. And so we are helping children that are underprivileged have the same opportunities that kids who come from affluence do.
The reason I joined Kiwanis was my wife works at the school district, and she sees the need on a daily basis, and she came back and she said, there's this group and they do really good stuff.
I love what Kiwanis stood for, which is that idea of kids. Because I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher my whole life, even though I don't be in the classroom all of that time. After 33 years in the classroom, anybody that's doing something in a nutshell.
I started with Kiwanis in 2018. They had a membership drive, and I was friends with a number of people who had been with Kiwanis for a number of years, so I wanted to check it out. Turns out it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
What we do for the Gateway Unified School District is beyond measure. We feed over 170 students every weekend with our backpack program.
What I enjoy about Kiwanis is we get to do a lot of different events. We get to serve the community through fundraisers by giving out hot dogs at Christmas parties for the local kids. We provide books for kids. We also march in the parade for the Veterans Day. We handed out hot dogs for the 9/11 ceremony. So there's a lot of ways that we are a part of the community, and we just enjoy serving in that capacity.
Everyone should always want to be a part of their community, and I've found that Kiwanis is the best way to do that. I would encourage anyone who has any interest in it whatsoever to come down to a meeting, come talk with us, and learn about what we do on an in-depth basis, and I can almost guarantee you're going to want to join.
I absolutely love that commercial. It is
Amazing.
isn't it fabulous?
I know.
You know,
where we can access that so we can share with other people. It's so awesome. I love it.
well, we're going to make sure it's available at Mid-Year South, and I know Leanne will be sharing it on Facebook, and so it's just absolutely fantastic. And so one of the things that we do at the station, and John, our producer, does, is he actually puts together commercials like that as well. So if you wanted to have something done for your club that's very personalized, John will be able to do that, and we'll send out the WWDBTV.com. I think I got that right. Probably not. But commercials like that go a long way. And so there you go. WWDBTV.com. I got it right. Yay. And it's so amazing how powerful that is. And Shasta Dam did exactly what you talked about. They led with service.
Yeah, definitely.
And each one talked about their passion. Um,
Yeah, that's amazing.
so, what's your favorite service project? What's your favorite service
That's a
project?
hard one. What is my favorite service project? So we do this thing for UCLA pediatrics craniofacial department. We do 2 projects for them a year, actually. One in the summer where we have a picnic so that these kids can play games and feel, because a lot of times they're going through different stages of surgery. So they might have deformities, and they might have scars, and they might have wrappings and stuff like that. But this is a picnic where everyone there is going through the same thing. So I love it because the students get to be themselves, not be self-conscious, not be worried. It's a safe space. And you see them play games, but also the parents get to interact with each other and go through the challenges that they're dealing with. And a lot of times in the beginning, you see the parents are talking about technical stuff, like, oh, how do you deal with XY surgery and stuff? But near the end, they're talking about the emotional stuff that they're going through, and they're really creating that bond, and it's really that moment that they really need. So it's a project for the kids, but it's really a project for everyone involved. The parents are getting what they need. The volunteers, their hearts are warmed, right? And they're getting to experience that fuzzy feeling that they get when they know that they're helping someone that really needs it. And it really is, there's no barrier. There's kids who have facial deformities come from all backgrounds, and all geographic places. And so it really is a project that's so diverse, and it's so open, and it's just pure goodness. It's just pure goodness. So that's a project that I really, really love.
It's fabulous. That is absolutely fabulous. For me, my passion is all about literacy. It's one of those things that once a kid can read, no matter what their circumstances are, they can escape into a dream world. And they also can find that they have an opportunity to better themselves, because once you know how to read, you can go anywhere. And so I know that we have delivered books to different pediatric wards and all those kind of things, and crayons and those kind of pieces. And so I'm with you. It's it's like when you got it in your heart, that's what it's all about with Kiwanis. Anna, we've got just a couple more minutes. And so, is there something that you thought, hey, if I didn't share this today, um, I may have missed the boat, or Val didn't ask me all the right questions? Is that one big tip that you want to leave us with?
I think the one big tip I would have to sum it all up was just to keep asking, and ask people anywhere and everywhere. You know, there have been times where I'm at the gynecologist and I'll ask someone to join Kiwanis, and or there's time when my grandmother who went to the emergency room, and we asked the emergency room nurses all about, because you wait in the emergency room forever.
Mhm.
So there's never, I think, a bad time to bring up Kiwanis, because Kiwanis is really there for you every stage of your life. We have programs for kids, we have programs for elderly, we do service for every types of people. So the one tip I have is just never be shy to ask. The worst thing they could say is no, thank you, right? And even then, you've already done something. You planted a seed that maybe later on in life they will look at it and be like, oh, that really energetic, bubbly girl in that elevator was talking to me about this thing. What is this? Tell me about it, right? So you've planted a
Mhm.
seed there, and hopefully it could become something more. So just never be afraid to share Kiwanis with people.
Anna, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for spending this morning with me. I know that your work normally has you working late into the night, and working as our district administrator, you wear so many different hats. So I am so grateful and thankful that you're here. And so, one of the things I would want to make sure everybody who watches this knows, that you need to have applications on hand, because you never know who you're going to run into. So go to Kiwanis.org/store and order your free applications, so that you have that material with you. And because the biggest loss sometimes is you'll be talking with someone and get them really excited and go, I'll get back to you. Or here's my email, get back to me. And that's that lost opportunity. And that's the one tip that I had learned from Anna. No matter where she was, she could whip out an application and a pen and wouldn't let people go away. And Leanne, I send out big hearts and hugs to you. As Leanne shared, she never would have survived her husband's death without her Kiwanis family. And we are your second, third, and fourth family. We're that Ohana. So thank you, Leanne. And so as we go through this, thank you so much. Tell Miss Cura that we missed TV, uh, or not. Maybe we don't want her to know that yet. And when we do our show on K Kids, I'd love to invite you both back to talk about K Kids and what K Kids do. But for now, we're going to do the next part of the show, which is Val. So I know John's going to pull up the on the road graphic. So right now, I am actually sitting in Reno, Nevada. And so Reno is the hot spot, literally, when we're here. But right now, there's beautiful snow-capped mountains, and we've done a site visit of the Nugget Casino and Resort, because we're going to have our district convention here in August. And so you're going to want to come here. We've got a couple of special things happening during Decon Week, including we're going to do a special bike ride on honor of veterans and bicycles, and we're going to have a fun walk that will benefit our Circle K, which are our college level students. We'll have a golf tournament, and I'm enlisting the help from Centennial Hill Time Color Run. So it's a glow in the dark color run. So we are very, very excited about hopefully having that opportunity to bring you out here, have some family fun. And everything has been renovated here in Reno. This weekend, I'm headed out to our governor visit in Huntington Beach. So if you guys want to have fun with our Region 3, you're going to be Division 30 and Division are hosting me, and so we'll have a lot of fun. We'll be wrapping up our prep for our Mid-Year South, because Mid-Year South is going to be in Burbank. And so next week we're going to be wrapping up all the prep for that. And so you're going to want to register for Mid-Year South. It is, and the hotel has a number of rooms available still, so nobody's priced out of the market of being able to be there. And my friend Jackie Joyner Kersey, the past Olympiad, is going to be our keynote speaker for lunchtime. And we have a very special guest in the morning. She is a junior Miss California. She is all of 5 years old, and she is going to come and talk to us. She is a future doctor because she wants to help kids. And so she's going to share her story in the morning, and you'll get to meet our governors from Key Club, Kiwanis, and Circle K, and what they're doing. And our speech winner for the K kids will actually be doing a mini presentation as well. We've got a fun, packed, full day set aside for you guys. There's also going to be a golf tournament on Friday. So if you can get away from, you'll be on one of the local golf courses, and that golf tournament will benefit the Kicks program. And I think you see the logo sometimes with the little tennis shoe, purple tennis shoe, that is all about Kiwanians investing in Circle K. And our Circle K members are getting ready to have their district convention. And as all of you know, if you've been to college, the springtime is a hard time to find extra money to be able to travel. So we're helping invest in them so that they can get to their convention and also prep to go to international convention. Our Circle K is the largest district in all of Circle K, and we don't have any officers on the board. We have no trustees, we have no presidents, no vice presidents. And I know that with Kiwanis, right, Anna? We have representation, and at the Key Club level, yeah, we have representation. But ours that representation, and they're I'm going to put the shocking words out there. They're always surprised that Hannah and the needs in Missouri are not the same as the needs in California, Nevada, and Hawaii. So we just need to have our voice out there and be able to support them. If you are thinking about starting a Circle K, there are also grants to be able to starting a Circle K in your area. And so you might with $300 matching with your $300 to help start a Circle K, because a number of our Circle Ks closed during COVID, and student activities on different college campuses have been very slow to bring back clubs and organizations. And so you want to focus in on that. And for those of you out there who haven't already done your sponsorship for Kiwanis, when your local Kiwanis folks come talk to you, they are trying to reach their $50,000 goal. And so I have the honor of being one of the first sponsors. And so I know that I'm going to end up doing another sponsorship. Yeah, and but please support our Kiwanis goal. They have I'm always impressed with the work they do, and their decon is coming out really. Anna, when is Kiwanis decon?
It's the last weekend of March. But their early registration deadline is actually February 22nd. So next Wednesday is their deadline for early registration. But the convention itself is at the LAX Westin the last weekend of March. So March 31st to April 2nd, I believe.
I know I'm really looking forward to being, and so it's going to be a great experience. And our Key Club is also working on their convention. And at this point in time, they are signing up to make sure that travel. So if you have a lieutenant governor elect in your area for Key Club, please support them. There is no budget right now for them to have their convention, and that's when they get installed and get their education. So please, 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 it's $512 travel, hotel, registration. If you could please help them with that, that would be absolutely wonderful. And so I was like, some fun ideas coming for our conventions. Keep them coming. And we're at that time in the year where everything is really speeding up. It's hard to believe that we're almost done with our. Isn't that amazing? And so
Awesome.
yes, go ahead.
Oh no, I just said awesome.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. And we have accomplished so much, and there's so much yet to do. If you are thinking about whether you want to be a lieutenant, now's the time to do it. And so I think we're at the top of the hour. And so I just want to say thank you all. And as Aaron would say, please take care of yourself and others, because we're all we have. And I want to say mahalo. Thank you for everything that you do. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Aloha.